ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लंबोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राढ्या पारिषद्या परस्सतं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानंद रूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदांत वेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिघ्नः स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजोवारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र सर्गो वृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोचितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यः हृदि अवरुध्यतेः अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषिभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं त्वयिपायनो विरह कातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवः अभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिम् आनतोऽस्मि यः स्वानुभावम् अखिलशुचिसारम् एकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षतां तमोन्धम संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Now with Bhagavan's anugraham we came up to slokam number 44 in Adhyayam 6 in Skandam number 4. And all the Devargal, Yakshargal, all of them guided by Brahmadeva himself had approached Shiva seated under Vatam, the banyan tree in Kailasam. Kailasam was described, the beautiful Vanam, that Saukandikam forest was described, Alakaburi, the Alak, Nanda, the river, and Ganga, which is what basically Ganga is. All those were beautifully described. We saw all that. But beyond all that, they saw this Vatam under which, and the thing was so huge, so peaceful, not even one bird's nest could be seen, even though it was so peaceful and shady, so quiet it was. And ideally, extremely conducive for doing dhyanam. Various Siddhargal, Munivargal, everybody was set seated in dhyanam. So these Devargal and Yakshargal, all these people accompanied by Brahmadeva, and they came there too. They propitiated him. There was a beautiful stuti that we shared in order to ask him to forgive. But how do you ask Bhagavan to forgive? You cannot say, Swami, I made a mistake, please forgive me. You have to repent sincerely. Let us see how they ask that and how it is done. When we approach Bhagavan, how we should approach him. But all these are personal lessons for me for sure. Okay. So we came slokam number 44. Tvameva dharmarthaduda abhipattaye dakshena sutrena sasamjita adharam tvaya eva loke avasitaha cha setavaha yan brahmanaha श्रद्धते Vrita Vrataha, Slokam 44. Swami, the yajna, the process, the practice of yajna has been described by you, has been set, has been determined, delineated, put in place only by you as a guidance through the Vedas. And the yajna that was performed, you use Daksha only as a nimitta matram, as your instrument, as a tool, not to show the world what needs to be done. The various dharmic conduct, the codes, the acharangal, anushtanangal, have all been ordained by you. You clearly said. And for the excuse me, so that the brahmanas who do the undertake the spiritual sadhana and thereby set an example for the rest of the world, they all follow these, the things that have been ordained by you. Up to that point we came. Now, move forward, 45 to 53, okay, and the points that they put forward is something that is stupendous. We have to really, really understand this, but I'm going to give an overall message and then we'll take over this, go through the Padarthangal, and they say, Swami, you are the one who has ordained people who do punya karyangal, that Svargalokam is there, and depending upon what they do, even moksham has been ordained by you, been promised by you, as we see in Bhagavad Gita. But people who do adharmic acts, they also go to Narakalokam. Okay? But also have been ordained by you. But sometimes things happen contrary to this, seem to happen contrary to this. And this is puzzling. So sometimes it changes among people. See, basically Bhagavan is something inscrutable. We cannot, Bhagavan's will is extremely judicious. There's no partiality at all. But our understanding is always limited. It has to be experienced. And so they themselves say, sometimes it looks like it goes opposite way. We don't understand. Then they bring up another beautiful point. Those who see themselves in every being and every being in themselves, that means the drishti, the parvai, is complete Viswarupam. Okay? And so this is what Vasudevam Sarvam Iti Manyate. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, this is Vasudeva. Present everywhere, the same entity, and in him also. So those people are really exalted souls. The anger does not touch them. They never get angry. But see, Shiva got angry, isn't it? So they point out. But Swami, the anger doesn't touch them. And you are. And there are people who are bound by jealousy, bound by cruel propensities, and they're inspired by when somebody else is doing well, they become envious, so they utter words, take actions that are injurious to them, cruel to them, with cruel words. But those kind of people are already destroyed by nature, by the law of nature. They're already lost their life, even though they've been living in the body. How come? Because if I am jealous of someone, then what happens to my jealousy is actually killing me, robbing me of my own happiness. In that sense, I'm already dead, is what he means. So that nature takes care of that. So when it is like that, people like you should not kill them. And also, the sadhukal, they understand that everybody is bound by maya, by illusion, which is ahamkaram, mamakaram, and then from there comes all these various tendencies, like desire or lust or anger or jealousy, whatever it may be. So they're pulled and pushed by that, they act in different ways. So sadhukal understand, and that these people are caught in maya. So they actually are charitable to them in their mind. They're compassionate. Oh my God, these people don't know. They're making all this mistake because pulled by maya, they are caught in the webs of Maya. So they show compassion to them. They don't show the strength to them. And what about you, Swami? The Maya doesn't even come near you. You are beyond all that. With steady, established, with firm, good, the word that in Bhagavad Gita uses is extremely stable. Okay, kutastham, it say in Bhagavad Gita, like, very strong, very stable. Or sarvajna, you are the knowledge, you are the knowledge, you are knowing everything. You are the yajamanan, the master, the controller. So all these people like Daksha and everybody bound in Maya, they do all this. But Swami, you are the one most deserving to show compassion and love on them. That's what they say. They never say forgive. They say don't say overlook and all that. They just appeal to prema. Because the nature of prema is automatically to ignore the errors done by these people. Right? And then they say, please show this, and this yagam that has been stopped halfway, please revive it. Revive it. The same yagam that is going to generate lots of benefit and good to everybody. But that was there, that yagam, during that yagam, all these, they say, kuyajvinaha is the word that's used. That means bad priests, bad brahmanas, people who are really not following adharmic acting, right? Those people actually did not offer you what should have been offered to you. And please, let Daksha be revived. Let Bhaga get his eyesight back. Let Bhrigu Muni get his mustache back. Let Pusha, let him get his teeth back. Remember, all these happened earlier. So, Perumane, all the others who have been beaten and hit and by all your army people, their body torn to pieces, by all this, please, through your blessings and prema, let them also rise up, let them be well. And the one who destroyed, who stopped this yagam, whatever is remaining there, Swami Rudra, let that be the offering to you. So accept that and please, grace, give anugraham for the yagam to be completed, to be fulfilled. Is what they say in the remaining 9 slokangas. We'll take up 45. So I hope you understand the overall gist of it. Number 45. Tvam karmanam mangala mangalanam kartuhu swalokam tanushe svaha paramva amangalanam cha kamistra mulbhanam viparjayah kena tadayeva kasyachite. Tvam karmanam mangala mangalanam kartuhu swalokam tanushe svaha paramva amangalanam cha kamistra mulbanam viparjayah kena tadayeva kasyachite. Mangala, mangalam we say in Tamil, in Sanskrit mangala it is actually. Okay? So mangala, the embodiment of auspiciousness, the mangala. Tvam mangalanam karmanam. Tvam, you. Mangalanam karmanam, all the auspicious activities. Kartuhu, people who do it. Mangalanam karmanam. Kartuhu, those who do all auspicious activities. Mangala karyagal, beneficial activities, who do benefit all the others. Sacrificial activities, serving others. All these things can be included. What is an auspicious activity? It is not to just light a lamp and light a incense stick. No, or ring the bell or whatever. It is actually serving everyone and caring for everyone and working to remove the sufferings of others, right? Compassionate, constructive thoughts, kind words, compassionate action, and the selflessly done. That is what actual Mangala Karyam is. So for those people, Saha Paramva Lokam Tanushe Sma, he says. Saha Paramva Lokam Tanushe Sma. For those people, you have promised and you're also granting them either Swargalokam or even Swaha means Swaha means Swargalokam. Param Lokam means the moksha, the point of no return. So Tanushesma, that is what you are giving and you're granting and you promise to give also. Then Amangalanam Kartuhu cha, people who do cruel activities, all selfish activities, everything based upon self-interest, selfishness, self-aggrandizement, people like that. Okay, what happens? Vulbanam Tamistram Tanushesma. Vulbanam Tamistram. Tamistram means, see, there are in Narakalokam itself, the most intense, the lowest form of that is Tamistram. Okay, and so that one, Vulbanam Tamistram Tanushesma, those people you will be giving Narakalokam. This is just you're doing, and you also said you're going to do. This is very clear in Bhagavad Gita. But Kena, for whatever reason, Tadeva Kasyachit Viparyayaha, Tadeva, the same thing that I understand that you're doing, Kasyachit, for some people, Viparyayaha, it seems to change. In other words, it's not an algorithm that the way I understood it. The way I understand it, this is what the equation is, but sometimes it happens differently. Kena, and for whatever reason, so I do beyond my understanding, is what they say. Okay? So basically, you are the grantor of the result. Phala Data. Okay? Tam karmanam mangalanam kartuhu swalokam tanushe smaha param va amangalanam cha tamistram Vulbanam Viparyayaha Kena Tadayeva Kasyachit. 46. Navai Satam Tvat Charanarpita Atmana Bhuteshu Sarveshu Abhipasyatam Tava Bhutani Cha Atmani Apritak Trikshatam Prayena Roshaha Abhibhaveti Yatha Pasum. Yatha Pasum means like the way the animals become angry without discrimination. Okay? Na vai satam tvat charanarpita atmanam bhuteshu sarveshu avipasyatam tava bhutani cha atmani apritak with trikshatam prayena roshaha abhibhavet yatapasum. Sva charanarpita atmanam, those people who have surrendered to you, their mind is completely surrendered to you at your lotus feet. Sarveshu bhuteshu, those people who have completely surrendered to you, with their mind completely at your lotus feet. Manmana bhava, as Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, also mamekam sharanam vraja. That's with mind, that mindset. People have surrendered to you completely, totally. Sarveshu bhuteshu tava apipasyatam. In all the being, they see only you. In other words, Vasudeva darshanam. Vasudeva darshanam. Vasudeva means one who is present in all the beings. Okay? That darshanam. Vasudeva darshanam. Sarveshu bhuteshu tava apipasyatam. They see only you in all beings. Mind is focused on you. And therefore, obviously, you see him everywhere. Right? Now, Bhutani cha Atmani Aprutak Vitrakshatam. Bhutani cha, all the beings. They see you in all beings. Also, Bhutani cha, all the beings also. Atmani, in their own self. Aprutak Vitrakshatam, without any differentiation. They see all the beings in themselves. They see you in everybody and all the beings in themselves. That means basically they are one with Bhagavan in their mind. That's all. There is no difference. So, Satam, those sadhukal. Okay, Satam means those sadhukalai. Okay, grammatically, Satam, no? Grammatically sadhukalai. Okay. Roshaha na vai abhibhavet. The anger doesn't touch them. Anger doesn't even come anywhere near them. So for those sadhukar, obviously, only when there is a differentiation, there can be desire. The desire is not fulfilled, anger comes. But when you see Bhagavan Vasudevaha Sarvam Iti Pasyate, and when you have that vision, there's no differentiation. How can anger come? So, Roshaha Nava Abhibhavete, it doesn't come to those sadhukar. Those Satam Nava Abhibhavete Sadhukalai Badikadillai. Okay, grammatically, in English we can say anger doesn't approach them. Anger is non-existent for those people. How? Yata pasum. Yata, in which way the anger, roshaha, yata pasum. The anger, in which way pasukar. Now, pasuna, animals. Okay, the animals basically become angry, isn't it? They're very prone to anger. Or another meaning is pasukal here also means ordinary people. People like me, for example, who have got desires, so prone to anger. So, yata pasum roshaha abhibhavet. How the anger attacks me and grabs me and puts it under its control. For ordinary people like me or for animals without discrimination. When I behave without discrimination, I become an animal, even though I may have a human body. It's as simple as that. So I'm bound by anger. But for you, like sadhukar, the anger doesn't approach them because they see Vasudevaha Sarvam Iti. So that's the next slokam. They see how beautifully they build. So this is what happens, Swami. For them there is no anger. Navai satam tvate charanarpita atmana bhuteshu sarveshu avipasyatam tava bhutani cha atmani aprutat vidrukshatam prayena roshaha amibhavetu yatapasum. Prayena means mostly. Number 47. Now in 47, you say, people who have got a differentiating mindset, people who look at all the differences all the time and focused only on the work, cruel with what we call ketta buddhi, the intellect, the mind is all going after desires and fulfilling desires, basically selfishness and self-aggrandizement, ahamkaram and mamakaram, swartham, Swami says beautifully, too much of selfishness, and certain amount of selfishness is required, but swartham, too much of it is actually cruel, is bad. So, and then those people, when they have like this, they naturally become, when somebody else is doing better than, they got more money, more power, whatever, my health may be good, I may lose my health, whatever, so many things happen. Then I become jealous, they develop jealousy, envy. So, and because of that, I may create some problems for them, which very well happens in society, right? And so many ways, the people do cruel activities to others, right? It could be gossiping about somebody, passing all ill will, words spoken out of ill will, all these, so many things are there. People, not only physical action through words, so many ways, right? And then in some people, even in person, they actually throw these cruel words, extremely hurtful, harsh words at other people. So for those people, what happens? They are already killed by nature, Daiva Balam. Prakriti's Balam is such that automatically they lose their happiness. Happiness, they're robbed of their happiness, therefore they are dead. When the robbing of happiness, I may breathe and move about in this body for all purposes, I am basically dead. In fact, I live in Narakam. That is what it is. I'm no longer living in Bhulokam. Because mind is always agitated, always envious, okay, always thinking all scheming things, bad things. Naturally, I live in Narakam only, so I'm already dead. When it is like that, people like you should not kill them. Otherwise, they're already suffering. They're being paid. Punishment is already there. It's the next point they make. So, prutak diyaha. Prutak means differentiation. Different. Okay, variety of. Prutak diyaha. The buddhi means, the buddhi actually looks only differences. Not unity, not the oneness, but differences. Karma drisaha. Focus only on work. Okay? Please remember this. Workers, or most of us do this, right? For the sake of doing a piece of work, what do? Right? We do so many other things that are adharmic, isn't it? Kodasya karma drisaha, only on that. Dura asayaha, with all kinds of bad desires, selfish desires, whatever it could be, kamam, krodham, moham, lobham. One of the worst things is lobham, miserliness, greed. Swami says if somebody is a lobhi, very difficult to bring him up. Very difficult. He says, okay, anybody who is miserly and very greedy, please take this as a dire warning from Bhagavan himself. Okay? And so, Dura Asayaha, Anisam always Parodayena Arpita Hrit Rujaha. Parodayena Para Udayena Arpita. Para others. Udayena means their their well-being, their exalted state in life, their promotions, whatever it may be, good things happening to them. That is Udayena, Arpitam, the mind is focused on that. So people who looking at others doing well, better than them for whatever reason may be, Rujaha, their mind is now becomes angry, and therefore they suffer. They cannot stand somebody else doing well. So those parodayena arpita rujaha, anisam parodayena arpita rujaha, are always like this. Anisam dura asayaha, always bad-minded, cruel-minded. Anisam karma drisaha, always focused only on work. Anisam pratak diyaha, always finding differences. Okay. Then anisam arundudaha, always hurting others. Okay. Arundudaha means the natural tendency is to hurt and harmful. They always harm and hurt others, either through their words, through their actions, whatever it may be. Ye, Duruptaye is those people like this. Duruptaihi paran vidudhanti. Duruptaihi, with harsh words, cruel words, paran, others. Paran, not others. Actually, Tamil, pirargalai, again, grammar is important, not others. But pirargalai means paran vidudhanti, those who hurt others. Okay? And pirargalai, punpuduthigaralo. Okay, that is it, Tamil translation. So, pirargalai, people who hurt others. Duruktahi, with cruel words. Tan Daiva Vadan. Those people like this, Daiva Vadan, they have to be killed by Daivam, in this case Prakriti, the law of nature itself. They are destined to be killed by them, which means in this case they're already killed. The body may be there, they may be living, breathing, okay, but they are basically killed, right? Which means happiness is robbed. For those people, Daivavadan, those people who are now destined and determined and ordained to be killed by nature itself, the Prakriti itself, Bhavat Vidaha Ma Avadit. People like you should not kill them, because who are you? You are Parabrahman. You have delegated the job to somebody else. And that law of nature, that Mahat Tattvam, that operating principle, modus operandi is already functioning. You take care of it. So you should not interfere and kill them, is basically what they say. Pritak deha karma dritaha dura sayaha para udayena arpita ruchaha anisam. Paran duruptaihi vidudhanti arundutaha tan ma avadhit daiva badhan avad bhavat vidaha. Slokam number 48. Okay. Now they say, Swami, yes, they're all very bad, they're acting like this, but everybody is Amritasya Putraha. Everybody is divine. Embodiment of divinity only. Embodiment Prema Swarupalara. Swami addresses you and me and everybody. Embodiment of love. But they act contrary to their true nature. Why so? Because they are caught in the webs of Maya. They succumb to this illusion. This is what sadhukal understand and appreciate. Okay? So, they don't punish them. They're compassionate, kind and loving to them as Bhagavan is. That is what Bhagavan is. There's no punishment. He knows I'm caught in Maya, therefore I'm acting like this. So slowly he takes me out of the webs of Maya, solving the problem at root cause instead of jumping in and giving a band-aid solution. This is what Bhagavan does. Okay, so they say the same thing. They say in Slokam 48, Yasmin yada pushkaranabha mayaya durantaya sprishtha diyaha pratak drisaha. Previous Slokam pratak drisaha we saw. They see only differences. Why? Because sprishtha diyaha durantaya mayaya. Very difficult to overcome this Maya, Swami. And Prishta Dhiya, they've been embraced, they've been imbibed in that. Buddhi is completely dissolved in it, immersed in it. Because of that, they have Pratak Dhirtaha. They explain now, next one, okay? Yasmin yada pushkaranabha mayaya durantaya Prishta Dhiyaha Pratak Dhirtaha kurvanti. Where they do like this, tatra hi, in that place, anukampaya kripam na sadavaha Daiva balatkritaha kramam. Yasmin yada pushkaranabha mayaya durantaya prishta diyaha pratak dusaha kurvanti tatrahi anukampaya kripam na sadhavaha daiva balatkritaha kramam. I mean, Yasmin, in which place? Yada, when durantaya pushkaranabha mayaya, pushkaranabha Padmanabhan, Bhagavan. Okay, Vaikunthanathan, okay, Sriman Narayanan, Pushkaranabha, same thing as Padmanabha. Maya, by his illusionary powers, by his Maya, Durantaya, extremely difficult to overcome, okay, and so because by this Pushkaranabha Maya, this Maya in all, by this Maya, Prishtadiyaha, the buddhi has completely lost, become extremely weak. They have lost their viveka buddhi. Discrimination is gone. Okay? So they act under this maya, by this maya. Because of that, pratak drisaha kurvanti. So they see differences only everywhere instead of looking for oneness. The moment you see differences, problem comes. So they always differentiate and then those people, tatra, that at that time, begin Yasmin, in which place, yada, when, tatra, in that place at that time, Daivapalat krute, the Daivapalat krute. See, here, this has their adharmic action, their departure from the prescribed path, okay, is due to this Daiva Balam, which is the qualities of the Gunangal, which is a Prakriti, okay, because it is being done by them. Now, how so, Swami? Please understand, this is a fundamental truth. That does not mean it gives you and me a license to do whatever we want. No. We have to understand what is happening and align ourselves with that. Gunangal, the three gunas, do everything, as Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita. You and I, as I think I am doing, it is not right. Once I understand, it is a combination, the three Gunangal, that actually constitute what you and I call as work. Okay? Once I understand the Gunangal in me marry, interface and embrace and complement, not complement, and touch the same Gunangal in all the things outside of me, then that's where the desire and attraction and actions and everything comes. That's another subject. We can discuss that in detail, but Bhagavad Gita beautifully explains it. So this is the Daiva Balam. Because of that, and Gunangal itself is Maya. So bound by the Gunangal, pulled and pushed by the various Gunangal that we all have, a combination continuously changing. It's a dynamic situation. Because of that, different things take place. So Daiva Balat Krute, all these have been done by the three Gunangal only, Swami, the Prakriti. That's it. So Sadhavaha, the Sadhukal means people who are always with Bhagavan. Anukampaya Kripam, Anukampaya, with love pouring out of their heart, unstoppably, they Kripam, they shower their Kripam Kurvanti, they shower their grace on them, Anugraham on them. Because they know, poor person, my God, he is suffering, bound by these Gunangal, under this Maya. So let me help him. Okay, let me not punish him. So tremendous compassion comes. Daya Sadagam, Bhagavan, see, Nigamana Desikan describes it so beautifully. This is what Daya Devi is all about. Bhagavan's love is nothing but this Anukampai. Anukampaya Kripam. At that time, the Sadhavaha, the Sadhukal, they have lots of power because of the sadhanas and the spiritual advancement and spiritual fulfillment, whatever it may be. All the divine power within them can manifest anytime. Okay, divine power is limitless. But to them, they show compassion and love. Kramam na kurvanti. They don't exhibit their power. No. What did Sivaraman do? Exhibited power and destroyed them. Okay, this is what they're pointing out. Sadhukal do like this. They look at it as a bondage of Maya. Okay? It does not give you license. Please remember, the only way to come out of Maya, here again, so that there's no confusion, Prajapati, Daksha Prajapati is no ordinary person. Brahma's Putran himself, great Prajapati, great leader. We all have come from those Prajapatis only. But when the mind is focused on ahamkaram and mamakaram and the ego, that I am the chieftain, the best, the leader among all the Prajapatis, that garvam is there, that at that time you are moved away from Bhagavan. That is what Bhagavan is correcting. Okay? It doesn't give you a license to say he is bound by Maya. You and I have to overcome this Maya, this ahamkaram and mamakaram. And the way to do that is to manmana bhava, put our mind with Bhagavan, which Daksha Prajapati did not do. Please understand the difference very carefully. So, we say that when Bhagavan, don't punish them, don't show your strength to them. Even with Ravana, Rama did not show its strength. Please understand. Because he is a divine mother, he is full of compassion. Only he was admiring. Oh, what a great archer this man is. Oh my God, what a power he has got. What skills. So he was admiring all this. But he did not kill him. The war went on for some. Finally, Agastya has to come and say, Swami, you come here for a purpose. Please, carry out why you have taken this avataram. Please. So, that's how see, Bhagavan is not that simple. Doesn't show his power just like that. In the case of Prahlada and Narasimha Avataram came because his devotee, Bhagavata, was the one that was being assaulted by Hiranyakasipu. When Bhakta is put to suffering, Bhagavan doesn't wait around. Okay? When you hit Bhagavan, nothing happens. It's like a fetus inside a mother's womb kicking the womb. So Bhagavan takes it happily. Oh, that's my child only. That's the way he goes. But the moment a bhakta is put to difficulties, nothing can stop Bhagavan instantly. Okay, please understand. So here, you say, so those sadhavaha, kramam na kurvanti, they don't exhibit their power. Instead, that sadhavaha, anukampaya kripam kurvanti. With tremendous love, they only do anugraham. This is what it is. There's no question of forgiveness and all that. That's an English word. So this is what they say. in slokam number 48. Okay. Yasmin yada pushkaranabha mayaya durantaya prishtadhyah pritadhrisah kurvanti tatra hi anukampaya krupam na sadavah daivabalat kritah kramam. I hope you understand the Sanskrit padangal now. They are quite easy to follow, at least in this section. Number 49. Okay, they continuously slowly make the point. Swami, who are you? You are Parabrahman. Beyond all, you are the one, beyond all the Maya and all that. Okay? Asprishtamatihi, they say, which is that Kutastham, completely stiram, nothing, no achalam, stiram. It doesn't shake, it doesn't move, and it is stable and strong. Samasta Dhrika is another word Bhagavan uses here, that is Sarvajna, we say, knower of everything, you know. What the past is, present is, future is, everything you know, everything is your Leela only, so you know. So, oh Prabhu, Yajaman, my Bhagavan, that all these people who do this yahangar, they're all bound by this Maya. With that thing, they got confused mind. This ahamkaram and all that, ego and everything is the result of confusion only, ignorance only. So in their matter, Swami, please, you must have anugraham to them. Give them your grace. Okay, you are the only one who can do it. Anugraham kartum arhasi, they say. You are the only one qualified. Nobody else can do that. To give an Swami says, what do you want? Swami, your anugraham is all I need. Nothing else is required in this world. No food, no health, no wealth. Nothing is required. If Bhagavan's anugraham is there, everything will fall at your feet. This is the beauty. Okay. Instead of seeking Bhagavan's anugraham, then I look for everything. Then next question, oh my God, Swami, your anugraham is not with me. No. Swami immediately answers that question. No, my grace is always with you. He says, otherwise how can the sun shine? How can the plants grow? How can we get food on the table every day? This anugraham is there all the time, everywhere at every place. But when your mind says, Swami, your anugraham is all I need, what am I doing? By putting my mind in Bhagavan's lotus feet. Whether I put my mind to him or not, anugraham is always there. But the moment I put my mind to him, manmana bhava, and lovingly madbhakta, matyaji, sacrificing, surrendering everything to him, mam, namaskuru, worshipping him, at that time, where am I? I'm not in this bhulokam. I am with Bhagavan in a place of no return, in bliss itself. That is what we're talking about here. So that anugrah, that Bhagavan, is the form of bliss, the form of love, the form of anugraham itself, that prema is the only one who can give anugraham here. Okay, so basically turn the mind towards him. With Bhagavan's grace, my mind will be turned to him. For that also his anugraham is required. That's the next point. Number 49. Bhavan tu pumsaha paramasya mayaya durantaya asprishtamatihi samastadruk tata taya hatatmasu anukarma chetahasu anugraham kartum iha arhasi prabho. They say. Bhavan tu pumsaha paramasya mayaya durantaya asprishtamatihi samastadruk taya Hatatmasu anukarma chetahasu anugraham kartum iva arhasi prabho. Anugraham kartum arhasi prabho. Iha, here. Bhavan tu, but you, too is very important. When he talks about all the sadhukal and everything, that is one thing. But Bhavan tu, you, who are you? Bhavan, but you, they say. Who are you? But you. Durantaya Parasya Pumsaha Mayaya. Durantaya, they are very difficult to overcome. Parasya Pumsaha, the Parama Purushas, Mayaya, with his Maya, that Maya. By that Mayaya, Mayayinal, Asprishtamatihi, absolutely undisturbed mind. Your mind is not agitated by it. You are not disturbed by it. That Maya, you are beyond all that. Maya is at your feet. That is the meaning of Bhagavan Paramasiva being, and also Srimad Narayana, Bhujanga Sayana, and Paramapurusha having snakes all around his body. Mind is in his control. The snake denotes the mind. Please remember that. Okay? It is in control. It is beyond the Maya. Swami Bhavantu Durantaya Parasya Pumsaha Mayaya Aprishtamatihi. Absolutely undisturbed because of that. Samasta Drika. Sarvajnani. You know everything. Therefore, Prabhu, O Swami, Yajaman. Taya, by that Maya, Taya, therefore, Taya, Prabhu, Taya, that Maya, by that Maya in all, okay, Hatat Masu, people who have been agitated, who have been imprisoned, bonded, and therefore the mind becomes restless. Anukarma Chetaha Su, Anukarma Chetaha, all these karma bound people who are doing all the yagangal in their matter, these people who have been doing all this yagam here, they've been bound by this Maya. Okay, but the Traya Hatatmasu, they've been bound. Therefore, we have in this matter, Anugraham Kartum Arhasi. Swami, you are the only one who have to give Anugraham to them now in this situation. That's how they feel. There's no question of forgiveness. Forgiveness, and these are all English words. Bhagavan's matter is very simple. Daya, 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 only daya, nothing else. And that takes care of everything else. Okay? Even the most cruel person becomes the most loving person once a daya falls on him. Okay, let's take Valmiki's example, for example, right? Ratnakar transformed into Valmiki, not a joke. Okay, so many cases are there. So, and even Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, even if the most cruel person, most adharmic person, okay, the moment he thinks of me or surrenders to me, he becomes the most noble person. Transformation takes place. For that anugraham, but that is Bhagavan's anugraham. So anugraham kartum arhati. Let us take, we got 50, 51, 52, 53, 4 more slokangal, and our time is up already. So let me conclude here, stop here, not conclude. And then we'll continue with Bhagavan's grace, take up the remaining 4 slokangal in this adhyayam tomorrow. The last slokam we covered today. Bhavantu pumsaha paramasya mayaya durantaya aprishtamatihi samastadrik taya hatatmasu arkar anukarma chetaha su anugraham kartum iva arhasi prabho. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sumukascha yekadantascha kapilo gajakarnakaha. Sumukascha yekadantascha kapilo gajakarnakaha. लंबोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राढ्याः पारिषद्याः परस्सतं विघ्नं निघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय अक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे कृष्णद्वैपायनं व्यासं सर्वभूतहिते रतं वेदाब्जभास्करं वन्दे समाधिनिलयं मुनिं जन्माद्यस्य यतः अन्वयात् इतरतश्च अर्थेषु अभिघ्नः स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायः आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजोवारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोचितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यः हृदि अवरुध्यतेः अत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिः तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तम् अनुपेतम् अपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरह कातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवः अभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिम् आनतोऽस्मि यः स्वानुभावम् अखिलश्रुतिसारम् एकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षतां तमोन्घम संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनोमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. With Swami's anugraham, let us continue. The last session we came up to Slokam 49, Adhyayam 6, Skandham number 4. And Skandham number 4, Adhyayam 6, basically describes Brahma Sahitanam Devanam Kailasa Gamanam Rudrasya Stavanam Cha. That's all the summary of that. That's very beautifully summarized here in the Srimad Bhagavatam Pratipada Artham book that I'm following, which you have the details about it. You can check the YouTube playlist where I've given details, and also in our communication through WhatsApp also I've given you that. Very beautifully they describe Rudra Brahma Sahitanam Devanam Kailasa Gamanam Rudrasya Stavanam Cha. This is the subject matter described in Adhyayam 6, and we are now in the last part of it. Basically, along with Brahma, accompanied by Brahma, they were heard reach Kailasam, and then they worship Rudra. The main reason is they made a mistake, and in English we call it as Swami forgive me, and we say Kshama, Kshamikanam, we say in our colloquial language, and also in Sanskritam, Kshama is a very important quality. But Bhagavan, Kshama means forbearance. But Swami is always bearing us, right? So what is exactly happening here in surrendering? When, as the Swami himself says, the Avatar Purusha himself says, what does surrender mean? And he takes you through different explanation beautifully. And then he says, so Bhagavan knows everything that's happening. In fact, everything happens because that's the way he wills it. And so when that is the truth, what is there for me to go and ask for forgiveness and I made a mistake and all this? No, what exactly is happening here? Is our heart must melt in love for Bhagavan. That's all it is. Every instance, success, failure, everything happens only to make my heart melt in love toward Bhagavan. I must love him more and more. So some problem comes, some accomplishment comes, some ego comes, whatever it may be, the simple solution is, Swami, this is what is happening. You think of it. That's all. That's exactly what Swami says. There's nothing more. And instead of saying, I surrender to you and so many things, what is there for me that I can surrender to him? I don't even know what surrender means. I don't possess anything actually. Everything is possessed by him. So what is it I can surrender? So simply that love, Swami lovingly, please, this is what is happening, and you think of it. That's exactly what we ever heard after worshipping Bhagavan. Stuti means we are saying praise. Actually, praise is not a correct word for it. And it is a limited expression of the reverence felt towards Bhagavan, the Parabrahman itself, because words cannot capture it. So that expression of the reverence and worshipful attitude, vinayam, all those are included in that stuti. Okay, Bhagavan does not need my praise, to be very frank. Let us get that very clear. So now, that's what Stavanam, they do the stuti. And what do? We saw how they said to Sivaperuman sitting and underneath that alamaram, you are Parabrahman itself, etc., etc. Nothing moves without your will. All those things they went through. And then they say, so beautifully, they point out, you yourself have said, if you do meritorious deeds, punyangal, then you can go to Svargalokam, and even you might even attain moksham itself. Or you do cruel deeds, adharmic activities, then you'll be sent to Narakalokam. Swami, this is what you said. This is how it all operates from what I understand in the teachings. But sometimes the happenings don't conform to this, which means it's not possible to understand Bhagavan's teachings or Vedic teachings or Bhagavad Gita and all that. Not possible to understand it. You should not interpret it, understand it. They're all limited. You must experience it. Anubhavam. That is where the actual truth is. So they point it out. And then they say, these people who are pulled by the various gunas of the Prakriti, envy, etc., etc., the nature, Prakriti itself punishes them by robbing them of their happiness, robbing them of their peace. Santam, asantam is what everybody has got. So where is the point? You live in the body, but basically you are dead. So that is already taken care of. So why do you have to go and kill him? They say. Then they point out another point. See, Sadhukar, the Periyorkal, we say, the elders, the Praha, they know that these human beings, out of all the cruel tendencies, etc., other big activities, propensities, etc., they are caught in the web of Maya, and they are caught in the bondage of the Gunangal. So they understand it. So they don't punish them. They only show their love and compassion to them. They say, Swami, you are like that. You are beyond all the Gunangal. You are the Parabrahman. Please. Now, you must fulfill, get the yagam. And also they say, you yourself established the importance of yajna and all that in this world. Sacrifice is important. Only when it is sacrificed with appropriate Vedic mantragal and all that, Panchabhutangal are satisfied, people can live happily. Plus, the additional lesson there, important lesson is everybody sacrifices what is taking place in everybody's life. Yajna is what is taking place, not karma. Yajna is the other side of karma. Everything is yajna only, sacrifice only. So people must focus on that. And then where is it being sacrificed to? What is the final destination? And that is what everybody must think, and therefore by refining themselves and purifying themselves. So you establish the procedure, the importance of yajna rituals. So please allow that too, so that you establish the procedures so Brahmanas can conduct themselves properly. The Brahmanas conduct themselves properly, then they illustrate and exemplify, live as an example for the others to follow. So everybody can live in peace and happiness and harmony. But now, please, you have stopped this yagam. Please complete it. Allow it to be completed. And Swami then bring Daksha's life back. And then also they talk about Bhrigu Muni, bring this mustache that was damaged, please bring it back. And Bhaga's eyesight, bring it back. And Pusha's teeth that have been damaged, bring it back. Everything, please. And also so many people have been killed, right? Please bring them all back to life. Fulfill the yagam. Allow the yagam to be completed. Take your offerings there as Yajna Purusha, and therefore there will be fulfillment. Is the final prayer they make. And out of that, we came up to Slokam 49. I gave you the summary of 50 through 53 also today. So we will take that up. But first 49. Bhavan tu pumsaha paramasya mayaya durantaya asprishthamatihi samasta dhruk. You are sarvajna beyond all the maya, which is so difficult to overcome, but you are beyond all that. Taya hatatmasu anukarma chetahasu anugraham kartum iha arhasi prabho. Show your compassion, love on them. That's what they say. Okay? In number 50, number 50. Kuru adharasya uddharanam atasya boho traya asamaptasya mano prajapatehe na yatra bhagam tava bhaginaha daduhu kuyajinaha yena makaha niniyate. Kuru adharasya uddharanam atasya boho traya asamaptasya mano prajapatehe na yatra bhagam tava bhaginaha daduhu kuyajinaha yena makaha niniyate. Makaha means yajnam, the yagam. Okay? They say bho manoho, sambho, bho sambho, we say like that, right? And oh Bhagavan, the most effulgent one. And manoho means not the mind, the mantrangal, or the origin of all the mantrangal. Where do mantrangal get their power from? Their sakti from? We say maranam trayate iti mantraha, we say. If you smaranam, if you do recitation of a mantram, then that takes you across the ocean of birth and death cycle. Okay, gives you moksham itself. But where does it get the power? That is Bhagavan, Sabda Swarupam. Okay, Bhagavan, that Bho Manoho, Bhagavan, O Peruman, O Lord, the Master of Masters, Tvaya Asamaptasya, Tvaya, by you, Ungalal, Asamaptasya, stopped halfway, Hatasya, thereby, when you stop a yajnam halfway, it gets destroyed, right? Which is what Vishwamitra did not want to see happen. That's why he took Rama and Lakshmana, right? Remember, that's the reason he gave anyway. Main thing is to reveal to the world the Rama avatar. That's one of the main reasons that Vishwamitra fulfilled on that. Also, another important thing why he took them was that not because he didn't have the mantric powers, not because he couldn't do it himself, also to show the world, even to this day, to you and to me, that Rama was an avataram. And also as a happening, as a prelude to marriage with Sita. It's very important how everything is connected in Ramayana. So they say, Asamaptasya hatasya, because you stopped halfway, Traya, by you, they've been stopped halfway and therefore it has been destroyed. Prajapatehe Advarasya, Advaram. Advaram is also one name for Yagam, Yajnam. Okay? Prajapatasya Dakshas Yagam. The Dakshas Yagam that has been stopped by you halfway and therefore it has been destroyed, that Prajapatehi Advarasya and the Yagatai. Okay? Uddharanam Kuru. Please revive it. Please revive that Yagam that has been stopped halfway and therefore has been destroyed by you. Please revive it. Uddharanam. Okay? Give it back life. Yena means by which. Makaha, the Yagam, Yajnam, Niniyate. Niniyate means becomes fruitful. What is rejuvenate means? So that it becomes fruitful. Fruitful means the Yagam's objective, the sankalpam that was taken must be fulfilled for the benefit of beneficence of all the beings in all the worlds. That's the reason Daksha Prajapati undertook that Yagam, that sacrifice. So to fulfill that, Yeniniyate, Makaha, Yena Makaha Niniyate, by which the Yagam will attain fulfillment. Okay? And when you rejuvenate it, Yena means by which. By means what? By you. Okay? By you. Only you can have help that attains fulfillment. Okay? By you. Bhagina, Tava Bhaginaha, for you there is an appointed portion of offerings. Every mantram, you got to go through all the Devargal, everybody has to be called and do avahanam and asanam and archanam and all those things, welcome, and then have them a seat, offer the seat, welcome be seated, and then you worship them and then make the offering. Okay, that is how all the Devadegas have to be called. They have to be given their offering. So your offering, Tava Bhaginaha, Bhagam, that portion, Bhagam means that Pangai, that portion, Yatra, in which Yagam, Kuyajvinaha, the cruel, the ignorant, the dull-witted priest, the Brahmin girl, those people, the priests who participated in that, Nadaduhu, they didn't offer that to you. In that Yagam, rejuvenate it, and thereby you can help that Yagam attain fulfillment, and you receive your offerings, the portion that is to be, which was denied to you earlier by these Prohitas, these priests who did not do the job properly. So, Kuru Advarasya Uddharanam Atasya Boho Tvaya Asamaptasya Mano Prajapatehe Na Yatra Bhagam Tava Bhaginaha Daduhu Kuyajinaha Yena Makaha Niniyate. Okay, bring that, rejuvenate it, bring it to life, make it attain fulfillment, they say. Number 51. Jivatate Yajamanaha Ayam Prapadhyeta Akshini Bhagaha Bhrugoho Smasruni Rohantu Prishnaha Dantascha Purvavat. Jivatati Yajamanaha Ayam Prapadhyeta Akshini Bhagaha Bhrugoho Smasruni Rohantu Prishnaha Dantascha Purvavat. That I think you understand to some degree. The words are fairly simple. Ayam Yajamanaha Jivatate. Ayam, this. Yajamanaha, Yajamanar of this Yagam, which is Daksha Prajapati. Jivatate, let him get his life back. Bhagaha Akshini Prapadhyeta. Bhagaha, the Bhaga, the Devan called Bhaga, whose eyes were taken out by Shiva's army. You remember why? Because when Daksha Prajapati was disrespecting and deriding Shivagarvan, this Bhaga was rolling his eyes in appreciation, looking at him and winking and expressing his appreciation non-verbally and support to that. Therefore, his eyes were taken out. So please, Bhagaha Akshini Prapadyeta. Let Bhaga get his eyesight back. Bhrugoho Smasruni Rohantu. Bhrugumuni, who actually did the Ahuti with Mantrangal and brought out the Devadahigal that attacked the previous army sent by the previous attendants that were accompanying Sati Devi, if you remember that. Okay? And this Bhrugumuni, when Daksha was, I'm just so refreshing your memory, when Daksha was deriding, disrespecting and humiliating, throwing all these cruel, harsh words at Sivaperuman, the Bhrugumuni, Sati Devi had given up her life at that time, and Shiva's army, attendants who had accompanied Sati Devi, started attacking. The Bhrugumunivar, with a mantric power, created the Devadahigal from the Agni. At that time, he was actually twirling his mustache, one of might and arrogance and ego of power, how powerful I am, like that. So his mustache was cut off by the army of Sivaperuman under Veerabhadra. Okay? So they say, Bhrugoho Smasruni Rohantu, let him get his mustache back, let it already grow back. Pushnaha, not Prishnaha, Pushnaha, Dantascha Purvavate, they say. Pusha. Pusha is another Deva. Okay, we saw earlier on, if you go back and look at the beginning of creation, how the various, all these Bhaga and they're all born to Dharma Devadahigal, okay, of Prajapati's, of Daksha Prajapati's other 13 daughters. So you can go back and refer to that. So that Pusha, and what did he do? That Pushnaha, Dantaha cha Purvavat. So for Pusha, when this incident was taking place, he was laughing, showing his teeth. Okay? And again supporting Daksha's actions. Right? So his teeth were completely broken out by the army under Veerabhadra. So they say, Pushnaha, Dantascha Purvavat, how his teeth were before, like that, let Pusha get his teeth back. So they were questioning like that. Jivatate Yajamanaha Ayam Prapadyeta Akshini Bhagaha Bhrugoho Smasruni Rohantu Pushnaha Dantascha Purvavat. Devanam Bhagnaghatranam Ritwijam cha Ayudhas Mabihi Bhavata Anugrahitanam Asu Manyo Astu Anathuram. Number 52. Devanam Bhagnaghatranam Ritwijam cha Ayudhas Mabihi Bhavata Anugrahitanam Asu Manyo Astu Anathuram. Manyoho, O Sivaperuman. Manyu means the embodiment of anger, personification of anger. Okay, Rudram, we also pray and propitiate, worship to Sivaperuman and say Rudra and say, Swami, let your Manyu, let your anger also go away. Don't throw your arrow at me. It beautifully says in Rudram, in first prayer things. Okay, how beautifully it talks about. So, another Vedic mantram that we all must recite every day, which we do during Sandhya Vandanam, is Kamo Karishite, Manyura Karishite. It says like that. And in Avani autumn time, And there is a Kamokashit Japam that we do. This one for at least 108 times, 1008 times, whatever. Kamokashit, Manjura Karishit, Namo Namaha. That's the basic. Namo Namaha means Namaskaram to you. Namaskaram does not mean Anjali of doing the palms together. It's more than that. The mind must bend. Namati means to bend down in Sanskritam in the root artham. So Namaha means when I bend down mentally, that means I don't have ego. It's only humility. It's only Vinayam. That Vinayam is most important quality. So Namo Namaha, they say. Okay? Namaskaram to you again and again. Kama akarishit, manyuhu akarishit. Kamo karishit, manyura karishit. Akarishit means it did it. Kamaha akarishit. It is only desire that did all this action, not me. Manyuhu akarishit. It is only anger that did all this action. So when you look at it, your own life, you will see all actions originate from Kamam and Krodham. As Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita. Okay? That is why these are the worst enemies you have to be careful of. And they are, you have to please take them, Arjuna, as your worst enemies. They are very powerful and they are insatiable. Another word Bhagavan uses in Bhagavad Gita. Whatever desire you fulfill, you cannot fulfill it because more and more desire will come. Anger is insatiable. So be careful. They are your enemies. Okay? So that form of Bhagavan, Sivaperuman and Rudram that we say in Sri Rudram. So here you say Manyoho, so Bhagavan, Sivaperuman. Sivaperuman is very auspicious. We also saw how peaceful he was, Santa Swarupi. But as Veerabhadra, he was nothing other than an embodiment of anger. So they say here, Krodaha, Krodakrit, Kartha. Also we say in Vishnu Sahasranamam. Anger itself is a form of Bhagavan only. And he does that for correcting a wrong, not punishing a wrong, but correcting a wrong, so that the person who did the error, the mistake, learns from it. So Manyo was Sivaperuman. Ayudhas mabihi. Ayudha asmabihi. By weapons and by stones. Bhagna gatranam. Bhagna gatranam. The body is completely pulverized, broken to pieces by weapons and by stones. People whose bodies have been injured, broken, limbs have been shattered by weapons and by stones. Ayudasmabihi Bhagna Gatranam, for those people also, Bhavata by you, okay, Bhavata means Ungalal, okay, by you, Anugruhitanam, now be blessed by you. See, Bhagavan blessing is always there. There is no question of forgiveness. That's always there. Kshama is always there. Okay, we don't have to ask him, he doesn't have to give. But what Anugruhitana means, Swami, with your Anugraham, they are now refined. They become purer, right? All the mistakes they made, they realize from it. So Anugruhitanam, who got like this? Devanam Ritvijam Cha, the various Devargal and the various Prohidargal, the Brahmanas who were conducting the Yagam, who were all basically killed or injured or whatever it is, they all have realized, got their lesson. They have learned it. In that process, their mind is now focused on you. Because their mind is focused on you, they actually automatically become purer also. They have learned the lesson. They have been refined. Okay? So those people, Bhagna Gatranam, Bhavata, Anugruhitanam, Devanam, Ritijam Cha, Asu, immediately, promptly, Anaturam Astu. For them also, let there be Kshemam and well-being. So bring Daksha back to life and also repair the damages the punishment that you have given, basically they realize a lesson. Bhrigu gave the mustache back because he now very well knows he cannot go and twirl his mustache in the future. He knows that. He has learned his lesson. He's become humble. Same way Bhaga, same way Pusha, they all have learned the lesson of they will not be arrogant or egoistic anymore. And the various Brahmanas who were siding on the side of Adharma, and the Devargal who also were following Daksha Prajapati's commands, that was adharmic. They all now have learned a lesson. Let them also it can be well-being. Please bless them and let them have Kshemam also promptly. Number 53. Yeshate Rudra Bhago Astu Yat Uchishtaha Advarasya Vai Yajnyaha Te Rudra Bhagena Kalpatam Adhya Yajnahan. They say Yajnahan means one who destroyed the Yajna. Okay, they are addressing Subharman. Yeshate Rudra Bhago Astu Yat Uchishtaha Advarasya Vai Yajnyaha Te Rudra Bhagena Kalpatam Adhya Yajnahan. Yajnahan, oh, the one who destroyed the Yajna by stopping it halfway. Advarasya Uchishtaha Yat. Advarasya, we saw Advarasya means Advaraha means Yagam, Yajna. Advarasya Yagatin. Okay. So Uchishtaha Yat, whatever the Uchishtaha, when after performing Yajna, the residual portion of it, this is what Uchishtaha means. It is not like we say, it is not a discarded portion. It is a residual. All the palangal, the fruits of performing yagangal with the mantras properly, there is an immediate cognizable result out of it, which in today's term we call it as, when we do Purnahuti and then we put the Maya on our thing, physically you can see, but there is also invisibly, there is what we call Adrishtam, that is not seen. Those benefits, those punyangal are also there. Okay, so that is Uchishtaha Yat means the residual from the Yagangal, Yat, whatever it may be, Yeshaha, that part, whatever it may be. A Rudra is addressing him, O Yajnahanni Rudra, Te Bhagaha has to, let that be your portion. Whatever residue is there, let that be your portion. Previously, these priests and all that, Brohidar, they didn't offer that your portion to you because of their ignorance, of their foolishness. Okay? But now, whatever is residual in this yagam, let that be your portion. Hey Rudra, beautifully they address Rudra and all that. Te bhagena, with that portion, adhya yajnaha, let this yajnam that was started by Daksha, adhya yajnaha, kalpatam, let that be fulfilled. Sankalpam, word that you are all familiar with. Before puja, go to temple, sankalpam. Okay, what is kalpam actually means? Kalpam means fulfillment. Okay, fulfillment meaning what? What gets fulfilled? Sankalpam means fulfillment in the company of Bhagavan, samyak, in the most perfect manner, in a wholesome manner. What does it mean? Let my mind be fully involved, imbibed in Bhagavan, lovingly, totally, exclusively. That is the fulfillment. While living in this body and the feeling of ahamkaram and all I have, feeling of separation from Bhagavan, the only fulfillment I can have in any moment is to put my mind fully in Bhagavan. Okay? So that is what fulfillment is. So when we say sankalpam, whatever sankalpam we have, the desire we express, that gets fulfilled. Okay? But suppose I desire nothing from this world, only Bhagavan's lotus feet is all I desire. If you make a sankalpam on that, you will get that. So here they say, Adya yajnaha kalpatam, te bhagena adya yajnaha kalpatam. With that portion, accept whatever is remaining in that yagam. Okay, please let the yagam be completed and fulfilled and completed. So whatever is residue is there, let that be your portion. Accept it as such. And by your acceptance of that, let the yagam be fulfilled. This Daksha's yagam be fulfilled. So bring Daksha back to life. Allow this yagam to be completed so everybody can benefit. Accept whatever is remaining. Take it as your offering. Okay, bless it. Take it means Bhagavan doesn't have to see anything that's offered with bhakti. I immediately accept it. I take it. Okay, and is what Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, that you all know. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Okay, and yada bhaktya prachyati. Okay, Bhagavan says that whichever is offered by bhakti through love, that I take. So you accept this, Swami, and then adya yajnaha kalpatam, let this yajnam be fulfilled. Yesha te rudra bhago astu yat uchishtaha advarasya vai yajnaha te rudra bhagena kalpatam adya yajnahanna. So that brings us to the end of Adhyayam 6. Iti Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurane Paramahamsyam Samhitayam Chaturtha Skandhe Rudra Santvanam Nama. Rudra Santvanam Nama Shashtodhyayaha. Thus, the 6th Adhyayam is completed. With Bhagavan's grace, we will take up Adhyayam 7 next. Okay, in our next session. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.